When I contact your last supervisor and ask which area of your work needs the most improvement, what will I learn?
By God, you mean Michael Jackson.
I got Bangkok Dangerous on deck tonight.
So how uncomfortable is that bucket?
Did you want to be Bo Jackson?
Who's better looking, Megyn Kelly or Rick Perry?
Nah, it was good. It tastes like syrup. What are you going to do? It tastes like syrup.
Well, I'd rather walk on pavement than children. That was like wino behavior right there.
Brings out the beast.
Is that they say, oh, Trump, 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 Trump.
Sushi Jackknife. 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 Sushi Jackknife.
I'm not rehashing.
Well, it's too late now.
I'm not doing that.
Did we already stretch? Did we do our It's going to be a long show, folks.
We made it
Preliminary.
exactly 3 seconds into the show before you tripped over your own tongue.
That's right.
Just stop mid-sentence.
Still can't say it. Preliminary podcast stretches.
Yeah.
I have a disease.
Welcome to Sushi Jackknife.
Welcome to this may be episode 24. No one's really
23.
sure. 23?
I don't know.
Is there a Sushi
Is anyone
Jackknife?
counting?
Is there a Sushi Jackknife super fan out there who would know the answer to this question? The answer to that question is no. There's not.
No.
There are no Sushi Jackknife super fans because you won't goddamn email us.
The closest we had was my wife.
That's true.
But you alienated her with the end of the last episode and your random noises.
Adam, do you know what a number station is? Oh, by the way.
Yeah, you should introduce who you're talking to, you weirdo.
Guys, tonight we have a very special guest. His name is Adam Foster.
Thank you.
Adam Foster is a musician here in South Nashville.
Yeah.
Also my former neighbor, bandmate, all around good guy, film buff.
Guy I know.
And he is a guy Nathan has heard of. And he's here with us for an undetermined amount of time tonight.
And it was really nice of you to welcome him into your basement by shoving him on this bucket instead of a chair, giving him no headphones.
Guys, this is a low-rent podcast. We have exactly 2 pairs of headphones. We do have 3 microphones, and we exactly have 2 chairs. Both of which are stolen.
Yeah.
One from a friend and one from my office.
I tell you, when I got into show business, I thought it was going to be all glamorous.
No.
I'm sitting on a bucket in the basement.
No, it's just a bucket in the basement.
What happened in my life?
And you're hoping that there's paint in that bucket and not something else.
Yeah, it could be
possibly
asbestos or
that's right. The rotting corpse of a tiny German man.
Oh,
that one's for the fans.
Anyway, alienating my wife.
Yeah, I alienated your life. Wait, oh God.
2. We're counting.
I alienated your wife with putting a number station. Or you know what number stations are, Adam?
No. What is that?
Numbers, we talked about them last episode. Number stations are these radio stations. I think they're usually on AM, and people don't really know what they are. People have a lot of theories. It's kind of a conspiracy-ish thing. And all they really are is sometimes there's random bits of music, and there's always this robotic-sounding voice just reading off a random string of numbers.
Okay.
It's like 7, 9, 10, 11.
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
I've run across that.
You've run across that before?
Yeah.
So some people think they're for spies to receive messages.
Wow.
Ludicrous.
Is a rapper.
We'll talk about rap later.
Yeah,
I'm sure we will.
Somehow we always talk about rap. People don't know what they are. So I found a database of them online and put it at the end of last week's episode.
I don't think the issue with her was the location of the numbers station. I think it's the fact that it went for roughly 3.5 hours uninterrupted at the end.
Yeah.
It just kept going forever.
It did go on for several minutes. Yeah.
And ever.
Yeah.
3.5 hours.
Actually,
you're probably on the FBI watch list now.
I
Probably.
hope so. I mean, we've already accused Dan Aykroyd of all sorts of things.
No, we haven't accused Dan Aykroyd of all sorts of things. We have accurately stated that Dan Aykroyd believes in aliens.
That is a true statement. There's nothing false about that statement whatsoever. So, Adam, this is your first venture into a podcast. We actually, guys,
Wait, any podcast?
We had the distinct pleasure of being not only the first podcast Adam has appeared on, the first podcast he ever listened to.
It gets better.
Yeah,
Look at the others.
I enjoyed your podcast. I think it was a good start.
Really, if there is a Sushi Jackknife super fan, he's in the running.
Yeah, especially
He's in the
since
running.
we've alienated the others.
Right.
With the number station.
So we're here to interview you, but first we thought it would be great because we have very sensitive egos if you interviewed us. So
Sure.
ask me the question you asked us moments ago.
Yeah, what was the impetus to the Sushi Jackknife podcast? How did you guys start?
I was masturbating.
Oh, my Lord.
Alone a lot. And Nathan called. No, that's not
I just really, I'm focused on the word impetus here.
beautiful
Makes me happy.
word.
Big
Yeah,
word.
impetus. Impetus. I mean, truthfully, what, we just both had an interest
Yeah, sure.
in podcasting?
Sounds good to me.
Nathan really doesn't. One thing we've determined in the course of doing 24
I don't give a hoot.
fucking episodes is Nathan doesn't care about
I
much
don't give
at all.
one hoot. One single solitary hoot.
He acts like he doesn't give a hoot, but he actually gives a lot of hoots.
I'm
Okay.
hootless.
Says defense mechanism for a big heart.
He's got a bag full of hoots like fucking Santa Claus
No,
back there.
no hoot. I took my hoots down
So
to
we
the
both
Goodwill.
really care about podcasts, and we decided to do one together.
Where was the eureka moment? Do you remember where you're like, yes, let's do it?
We were riding in a car together. Nathan,
I honestly don't remember.
you
where it
dropped
came
me
from.
off at my house one time, and I was from something.
Okay.
And I was
This
like,
sounds believable.
we should do a podcast. And he was like, yeah, we should. And then 3.5, 6 months went by, and we actually started doing one. And here we are.
Was that as interesting as you thought it
It
would
was
be?
a magical story. I got lost in it, I tell you. Picture was painted so vividly.
Yep.
Impetus.
As auspicious our beginning was, so will be our end.
I could see you guys going out in a ball of flames, actually. I think the end is going to
Yeah?
be quite magnificent.
If my drinking continues to get worse and worse, that might happen.
An FBI siege.
I love this.
Number stations. You bastard. It turns out all the ones I picked are actually my zip code, my full address,
Yeah.
my social security number.
The lasers are starting to calibrate to your house, is what you've done. The satellites are forming around you.
Adam, you're here. You're here because you have a record out.
I do.
You have several records out.
I do.
Tell the good people about your records.
I have, well, I guess I got 4 or 5, out. Acoustic one, an instrumental one, a couple rock and roll ones. But my new one is a live one from about a year ago, featuring yourself, myself, Mr. Kobe Ferguson, and Mr. Maurice Barrett, which are the Phantoms.
Yes.
Back me up. So,
We were the Phantoms.
yes. And it was a live show here in our community garden. And just kind of recorded it off the cuff, but I listened to it recently and I really liked it. We cut it up a little bit and touched it up a little bit and decided to put it out. And it's going to be out there now for a limited time for free at adamfoster.com, if you don't mind me plugging that.
Of course not.
And so, yeah.
Will you
it's,
bleep that?
It's a,
So
little, it's a
Yeah.
rock. Yeah.
That part will be in reverse.
Oh, okay.
In the
Oh, nice.
recording. Yeah.
back
Backward
mask it.
Yeah, just so you know. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a free live album out there. Some rock and roll. It's a rock and roll album, basically.
It's definitely a rock and roll album, and it's definitely its own thing. It's not your garden variety. We speaking for you and speaking for us. It's not something you're going to find under every rock, especially in Nashville, because Nashville has a surprising rock community that people don't know about.
Yeah, I mean, rock and roll, this is, the birthplace of a lot of rock and roll, this general region.
Yeah.
And it kind of gets forgotten, I think, in all the country music. But, yeah,
Right.
between Elvis and Sun and, the Delta Blues and all that, right? And, just a ton of great, what you might call R&B, but it's really just early rock and roll and all that good stuff. Tennessee especially is just a hotbed for all that. So hopefully I'm continuing the tradition in some kind of decent way. I don't know.
It certainly is. And a lot of it has a rootsy rock kind of thing to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like the rough around the edges kind of.
Yeah. Gritty.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, very diplomatic of you calling country music
I love country music too. I mean, I'll country music.
My interview question here.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
No preparation here, off the cuff.
What's your name again?
You said you were talking about Elvis here. Mm-hmm. There's been a mini debate between Justin and I.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Is Elvis overrated? Now, my reasoning for this, I think Elvis is overrated because people make a pilgrimage to his house like it's a religion. Does he deserve religious pilgrimage?
Well, I don't know about that, but I love his music. I don't know. I mean,
I'm going to let
I think it's great.
He's good.
Yeah.
I love
He's
him. I mean,
good. I'm not
I
saying
think he
anything
made
bad.
people feel really good, which was his gift. I think his smile and his heart, I think from the stories I've heard, even behind the music, he was just a really good, big-hearted guy. So I think
Right.
outside, and through the music that comes through, but also I'm sure just people he knew, and so I love his music. So I would say no, but
You think religious pilgrimage is necessary?
well, I would certainly put God first, but but I still love Elvis a lot.
I'm going to take
By
that.
God, you mean Michael Jackson. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, how come there are no pilgrimages to
there are.
Neverland?
People just don't come back.
Well, no one goes there.
They go there.
No.
They just disappear.
That's ridiculous.
Neverland.
That's nonsense.
You won't let me make a decent joke sometimes.
I was actually hoping.
Go ahead and try sometimes. Kaboom!
Oh! Whenever we have a guest on, we
Yeah.
get real mean with each other. I've noticed that.
I'm always mean.
You are always mean.
Maybe you just get meaner and I stay
The same.
like I'm middling
Yeah.
all the time.
In this Elvis conversation, I think he does deserve everything that he receives.
Ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a reason why.
Anything
One solid reason why.
anything I say, you're not going to be happy with.
No, I'm not. But go ahead and give me one solid reason why.
He has the distinct honor of cosmic communication. And I mean that because he was the first superstar. I mean, maybe you could say, Frank Sinatra was up there, right? And there were plenty of people that were popular, but he was the first person that garnered so much. And to this day, I don't think anyone has more merchandise, more images out in the world than Elvis. You know what I mean? Elvis is... people come to places that he just happened to be at, and that becomes their entire business. Like, people come to see it. You
But
know
see,
what I mean?
that's what I'm saying. That's overrated.
I don't think it is. I really don't think it is because and it's not so much about Elvis in part. It's because he was this bridge between an entire world of black music.
Yeah.
And he brought that to the white audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he pilfered.
because he happened to be a white guy.
Yeah, he
and
pilfered it, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
unintentionally.
he
but he
pilfered it.
did.
No, he
did.
pilfered.
No, he did. I agree with
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I agree with you. There was this.
I mean, Pilter was influenced by
Pilfered.
Definitely influenced by.
No, I'm choosing Pilfered.
But in more ways than one, Sam Phillips, was looking for. He had been recording black music for years, and in some ways was looking for somebody who could pull that off. But he knew the country was segregated. He knew that people weren't. That people weren't open-minded, so he knew he had to get some really good-looking white guy to come do it, and that's exactly what he did.
Don't buy it.
And he tried to do it again with Carl Perkins, but it didn't work out the same way. Yeah,
I don't buy it.
Okay, people don't know I'm like gesturing with this beer bottle right now.
Which, by the way, you're guzzling literally the last drop out of that bottle.
The foam.
That was like wino behavior right there.
It really was. And, trust me, I feel
There's
it.
got to be
I feel
something
it.
in there.
Please, God. I just think I agree with what Adam said. He was able to communicate in a way that no one had been able to do before.
I don't buy it.
Well, and even just look at...
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve recognition.
Right.
But that much recognition?
I don't know...
I don't know that he did that much to shape the world of music in that way.
I think you have a little bit of future bias.
I do. I'm in the future.
Well, yes, but I think if you had been around in the early 50s and on into the 60s, you might because it reverberated out. Really, it reverberated out to Britain, right? And then all of those cats would have never heard rock and roll had it not been for Elvis.
I don't buy
You know what I mean? I don't think they would have. And therefore you get the Beatles, and therefore you get the Rolling Stones. It would have never happened without Elvis. You know what I mean?
I think it would have.
I don't think it would have.
I think it would have.
I disagree.
It was already a genre of music that
It
was
was a
exploding.
genre, but it wasn't
sans
huge.
Elvis. Sans Elvis.
This is the most debatey we've gotten in a long time, and I don't care for it.
This is, by the way, the best interview question for a person ever right here.
The lovely part about this interview is we've totally ignored the person we're interviewing.
I asked him first.
You did. You did. But then we went off on a
Fine.
20-minute tangent.
Adam, favorite NWA member? Go.
Dr. Dre.
That's the right
Good
answer.
answer. That is the correct answer.
The-
We can agree on this.
The incorrect answer was MC Ren. MC Ren. No one chooses MC Ren.
I think I did read though that like Ice Cube wrote all the lyrics even for the other members. So
Yeah.
he's got to be a close second.
Dr. Dre's got the production.
Yeah, the beats.
The beats. The beats.
What a team though.
When did you start playing music?
Probably about 5 or 6 with piano.
Okay. Piano was your first
I was
instrument?
probably banging on some stuff before
Okay.
that. But,
Okay.
Yep, piano. Played that for a while, and then kind of transitioned into singing, guitar playing.
Right.
Kind of rejected the classical music thing like a fool because it could sure serve me now. But I guess maybe I would have quit music. I would have. Some people get burnt out with the discipline of that. But
I did the exact same thing. I took piano, and then I would start and quit piano like ritualistically, and then when guitar came into my life, I was like, I'm sold. Like totally, I can stay with this. You know what I mean? And even to this day, like I falter back and forth with piano. It's interesting. All right. So, were you surprised at the decision to lift the ban on women in combat roles?
wow, that's a
This
tough
question,
one.
by the way, comes from Terry Gross on Fresh Air.
Wow,
She
can you
was
hit me that
speaking
again? I wasn't
to
even aware that
Fred
the-
Kaplan in 2013.
Band has been I mean, I think women should be able to serve if they want to, and if they want to fight, hey, better them than me. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, what role did he play in your life as a child?
He?
Yeah, what role did he play in your life as a child?
Who's he?
What role did he play? Please address the
A
question.
big role.
A big role?
Yeah,
A big role.
Very influential role.
All right, good.
When I contact your last supervisor and ask which area of your work needs the most improvement, what will I learn?
That I'm not even employed anymore. So that the whole time.
We're back. What was the first record you remember buying with your own money?
And follow up, what's the first record you have forgotten about buying with your own money?
Great follow-up,
I'm
Nathan.
totally confused. Oh boy, probably when I first started making money, probably 14 or something. I do remember buying Tool's Undertow.
Oh, yeah, good. Oh, yeah, heavy.
Yeah, and Suicidal Tendencies, Art of Rebellion. I bought those the same day.
Okay.
And I was just transfixed by both of them. I loved it.
That's a great memory. That's a great memory. So for people unfamiliar with Scientology, would you describe what you consider to be some of the basic principles of it?
And for
no
follow
idea.
up, could you describe some of the less basic principles of it?
I don't know. I've heard there's something about a table.
That sounds right.
And some levels that you got to attain. That's all I know.
Correct.
Really. Okay,
Correct.
Thank you.
Welcome to the church.
I'm in now.
That'll be $1,000.
Creed or Nickelback? Who's worse?
Ding.
Nickelback.
Ding! Ding!
Correct answer.
Thank you.
Correct answer. What are some songs you think have universal importance? Not just songs that you like, but songs that are important.
Imagine.
Imagine by John Lennon.
I think is pretty important.
Great choice. Great choice.
Blown in the Wind.
Pussy choice. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh
That's a
my
great choice.
God.
Very good choice.
Very good choice.
Excuse
Very
me?
good choice. It's the first time I've said pussy on here, and it feels as uncomfortable as you would think it would.
Like 1 to 10, how
It's
uncomfortable?
pretty much a 10.
10?
much a
Really?
10.
I think
It's that high?
fortifies how strong of a choice that is because it made you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It brought out that macho in you that was like, peace.
I shouldn't drink. We figured this out about 20 episodes ago, and then I started again.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Brings out the beast.
It's related to what we're doing later. Anyway.
Okay.
Do you have any other songs? Universal significance?
Creed higher. I don't know.
I want to
Great
take
answer.
the second to point out
Is that even a Creed song?
Elvis was not listed anywhere in this list.
I mean, one man's opinion. What can I say?
1 point for me.
So, what's the symbolic value of you being at 11:30 compared to 12:30?
Well, get I don't know, bigger audience, less stoners.
Bigger audience, bigger audience, less stoners. Huh?
Yeah.
That's almost exactly what Jimmy Kimmel said. Yeah. What did you do in the David Letterman fan club you founded?
I just read the letters and responded back, and I forged Dave's signature on them.
Really? Mm-hmm. You're admitting to forgery right here. You know this is being recorded. And
I know the FBI is listening
sent on
to
to
me.
you. Yeah, we've already established that.
All right, it's
Yeah.
the least of my crimes.
Okay.
I'd rather go down for that one.
Everyone
than
hear
the
that
other
tiny
one.
voice reading numbers?
I think this is the question everyone in America wants to know, though. Favorite Molly Ringwald movie?
Great question.
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
Acceptable.
Very acceptable. Yeah.
And what's the other ones in there? 16 Candles?
Yeah.
maybe?
16 Candles. Yeah.
That's a good one, too.
The
Yeah.
others. The other movies that she had.
Yeah. Oh, there's not a movie called The Others. No.
There
She
is,
wasn't in the
Oh,
others.
but,
Nicole Kidman, I think.
What about St. Elmo's Fire? How do you guys feel about St. Elmo's Fire?
Inspiring.
Nah.
The running on the beach.
Running on the beach.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It for an 80s movie, it's there.
Yeah.
It passes.
Adam, next question. When you were 9 years old, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I think that was a period when I had no idea. Well, I'm sure it was something sports related, actually.
Sports related.
Yeah, football player for the New York Giants, probably, or baseball player.
Did you want to be Bo Jackson?
No, I just wanted to be me, but, hitting those home runs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Bo
Yeah.
Jackson.
Like
Bo Jackson did
By
do
the
that.
way,
Yeah.
I'm really impressed that you were able to pull Bo Jackson out.
You know why I could pull Bo
I still
Jackson
love Bo
out? Do
Jackson,
you guys
though.
want to know the honest answer to that question?
You looked up athletes, didn't you?
No. There was a cartoon show, very short run because it was god awful. Cartoon show called Sports Stars.
No, I
or
remember
All-Stars.
this.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky was in it.
Bo
Yes.
Jackson and
Yeah.
Michael Jordan. The only fucking reason I remember Bo Jackson is because I didn't know who he was before,
Oh, really?
and I wouldn't have known who he was after, except for that cartoon.
You should spend more time on Wikipedia. You'd know all kinds of stuff about Bo
Bo's
Jackson.
huge.
Bo knows.
I know Bo knows. Bo knows. What does Bo know these days?
Bo knows bow hunting now.
Is that what Bo's doing?
He actually really is.
Bo.
Wow.
Bo Bo's.
Yeah.
Can't write that stuff.
You cannot write that.
Check
Thank
out some
you, Mr.
ESPN
Foster.
30 for 30 documentaries.
You talked
You'll learn
about
some
that.
stuff.
That's right.
He also rides bikes.
He rides bikes?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He has a degenerative hip condition, but he still rides bikes.
Is that
gosh,
right?
Go
really?
figure.
Wow, from his entry.
Adam, final question from me, and hopefully Mr. Badley will have some more deep questions.
No.
No.
Hope not.
Adam, why did they think that?
And follow up. Why wouldn't they think that?
Because people think too much, I guess, and they got to think something, and they didn't think it because they were too stupid, I guess.
Follow up?
Incorrect. All of this is incorrect.
I'm just trying to sell it, too.
All right, Adam, we really raked you over the coals. Some of those questions were legitimate questions I came up with. Some of those questions, the fun ones, were all questions that were asked on the NPR program Fresh Air to people who had written books about important shit.
Okay.
Or Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah. Jimmy Kimmel did not write. There were no important books by then.
So
It'd be tough to be on NPR.
Fred Kaplan was
Challenging
interviewed,
questions.
Jimmy Kimmel, Lawrence Wright, who wrote the book Going Clear about Scientology, and author Eric Larson. I almost asked you a question about writing history books and when do you choose to put certain things in quotes and when do you not. It was a long question. Terry was very disorganized that day, so I left that one out.
Okay, I appreciate that.
And Nathan asked you at least one question from like top 10 interview questions from a job. Yeah.
That was the one that gave me the sweats the most.
Is that the one?
Thinking about those jobs.
Yeah, yeah. So how uncomfortable is that bucket?
Not as uncomfortable as the questions.
Has it started knocking yet?
No, it's feeling good actually.
Okay,
I'm kind of
good.
sinking into
Great.
it. It's soft
Great.
plastic, so
Yeah.
it's kind of comfortable.
All right.
It's conforming to the buttocks.
Yeah, it's probably better than like hardwood chair. You know?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I think so. Because I have a hardwood chair at home. I sit
You do?
on my desk, and it's not as soft as this.
I'm trying to find a chair for my desk, and you know what? It's darn near impossible.
I recommend a bucket.
I may have to find one.
Despite the fact that this is fucking riveting. Let's move on.
You don't have anything else to talk about.
Oh, I do. Look at this page of notes.
Okay.
I thought we were really getting somewhere.
What's on the page of notes?
Guys, if there was ever an episode of Sushi Jackknife that would have a focal point, it's today. Because today is all about the politics. Today's all about politics. Not only, folks, did we have a great TV moment with the first 2015 GOP debate last week, an event which we are covering almost a week late, and you're probably hearing a week to a week and a half late. We also had local elections here in Nashville.
We did.
And both of my picks, mayor pick, district council pick, both came out on top.
Oh, so they are now in their positions?
They are not in their
Well, it's like a
positions.
runoff for mayor.
There is a runoff because neither was able to achieve a simple majority.
Right.
A rule that only exists in the South.
What's a simple majority? What percentage is that?
51% would be a simple majority.
So the person you
Four people
picked won by not winning.
That is 100% correct.
Okay.
Yes. Megan Barry for mayor.
So they're going to just do it all over again.
No, they're going to have a runoff between the top two percentage holders.
Yeah.
So Megan Barry, David Fox. David Fox wants to turn Nashville into pavement and dollar signs. Megan Barry, human beings and children.
Wait, she wants to turn Nashville into human beings and children?
Exactly. You heard.
That's terrifying.
Well, so is pavement and dollar signs.
I'd rather walk on pavement than children.
Have human beings and pavement. That would be the combination I think I would go for.
Human beings and pavement.
Yeah, that was
No children.
That was Freeman, I think. That was his.
Yeah,
thing.
Freeman was very good at him.
I'm going to
Very
keep the
good.
pavement where it belongs.
Get rid of the children and
Underneath
bring in
every
people.
homeless person, there will be pavement. Underneath every living person, there will be grass.
So Colby Sledge is czar now?
Colby Sledge is
Whatever he was running
He's
for?
the king of Nashville. He came out on top. Colby Sledge, also known on this podcast as the Sledge Hammer. He also
No, just in live, not on this podcast.
Okay, he came out on top. He did. He has to also. He has. They both of these campaigns have a month, roughly. I think September 15th, and then they have to revote. So Paula Foster versus Colby Sledge.
Wait, so he didn't win either?
No, he came out first, but he didn't win. Not by a simple majority.
So no one won.
Because there were umpteen candidates.
So what you have just done is said, so we had local elections and nothing happened.
Yeah, that's kind of my news item for today. Right, correct.
All right.
Correct.
It was kind of like a Final Four type of situation. Now we're down to 2.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It was an elimination round.
Right.
Yeah, we had a round of elimination. Adam, do you have any questions before we proceed?
No, I'm with you.
Nathan, do you have any comments before we proceed?
About?
Anything, really? I mean...
Hold on.
He knows I'm uncomfortable with silences. Please help me get through this time. Please, for the love of God. Please. Please, Adam. If we were
Where do we get beer? That's my question.
in my refrigerator,
Can I?
I'll split a Foster's with you. Shh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That'd be fitting.
Go ahead and get a beer while
All
I
right,
think.
we're going to do that.
No, not you.
No, what? No.
I'm still thinking.
It's in the fridge. It's in the fridge. Are you still thinking?
Yeah, no, I don't have
This
anything.
is fucking uncomfortable. I can't stand this.
No, I got nothing.
Okay, great. All right. All right, so GOP 2015 first debate, Fox News.
Or
Now,
GOP, as I like to call it.
I do like to call it GOP as well.
Yeah.
I want to say, before we get into this, the first thing, I missed it when it aired on television. First of all, I don't have cable. Second of all, why would I watch Fox News? Third of all, I don't have cable.
Those two of those were the same.
Yeah, I know. So C-SPAN, I watched a little bit of an earlier debate. Only the top 10, there's like 14, 16 candidates.
18.
18.
Yeah.
Just GOP, just Republican candidates at this point. Fox only put on the top 10. Why are you so giggly over there?
I just think it's funny that they had a backup debate.
They did. Oh, yeah. They did. Well, this may have even been something different. I mean, I know that Fox had an early afternoon debate with like the wider field, and then they had the narrower field in the evening when everyone cared.
The first debate, it was people like Rick Perry,
Right.
where they're like, no,
I want to talk about Rick Perry.
that's
Rick
not
Perry-
going to happen.
Rick Perry, yeah, go ahead.
All these candidates and yet no third party. You know, that's
Right,
the crazy
exactly.
thing.
Well,
it's just like
there have
funneling 1,500 people into two ideologies. It's
True,
so
true.
There have
silly.
been threats of a third party.
There should be 4 or 5 parties.
You know who's threatening?
Contending parties. Who's that?
The Trumpster.
Oh,
Oh,
of
he
course
wants to
he
go
is.
third?
Oh,
He's the only
yeah.
one that's got the money to do it.
Set
Yeah.
a precedent, maybe.
Rick Perry. I want to talk about Rick Perry real quick. Former, I think, governor of Texas.
I believe that
Or
is
current-
the case, but does it matter?
Rick Perry, since we saw him last in 2012, I always get this messed up. Rick Perry has become a little cutie hipster. He's got his little black rim hipster glasses on. Now, I'm only occasionally attracted to men, but he looked
Define
great.
occasion.
Neither of you are
Would
the
you
occasion.
say that he's the dreamiest
He was
GOP candidate?
He was weirdly attractive to me, and I'm like, I know that everything you think is the opposite of what I think. I know that, but something about you. Something
about the
you.
You know,
issues.
opposites attract, Justin.
Well, they do. Me and Rick Perry together, hand in hand, tramping our way through hell.
By the way, you just described his worst nightmare right there.
Yeah, right?
Who knows? These politicians get freaky, man.
Yeah. So I know this is hard to explain. I know this probably comes as not much of a shock, but that's exactly how I feel about Rick Perry.
It wasn't that hard to explain. I'm just saying you're the only person in the United States that doesn't pick Marco Rubio as the GOP dreamboat.
Well, it's just how I feel.
Dreamboat.
I'm not into Latin guys. Sorry. I know that's a little racial. So, man. Wow, I know it just got real.
Wow.
Or unreal. So this debate. This debate. I just want to give people who may be less informed than even we are a little bit of a
Impossible.
rundown. This is the top 10 GOP candidates. Now, all of these people are
Do you have
assholes.
them written down in order?
I have them written down. Yes, I have Scott
Count
Walker.
up.
Okay,
Yeah.
Scott Walker.
Yeah.
Who is Wisconsin governor.
Okay.
Rand Paul, not
Yeah.
Ron, who's Kentucky senator. Mike Huckabee, who ran before, he's former Arkansas governor. Jeb Bush of the Bush cacophony, former Florida governor. Marco Rubio, the cute one, Florida senator. John Kasich, Ohio governor. Donald Trump, Dr. Ben Carson, neurosurgeon, African American, only one there, even in the audience.
Yeah.
Chris Christie, New Jersey governor. Ted Cruz, Texas senator. And I imagined Rick Perry to be there because I like him so much, but he wasn't there. The moderators are Megyn Kelly. Megan spelled Megyn. And she's, I mean, come on. She's a nice looking lady. Britt Beer. Looks
real
a
quick.
little bit like an animal. Yeah.
Pause, rewind. Who's better looking, Megyn Kelly or Rick Perry?
Yeah, it's all about personality, Nathan.
I don't even know what Megan Perry looks. Or Megan, what's her last name?
Megyn
Kelly.
I know what she looks like.
She is.
So I have to.
They should just drop her
Plead the
name
fifth.
and say
Yeah.
anonymous blonde lady.
Right.
Because Fox News has every anonymous blonde lady.
Another anonymous blonde lady conservative is basically who
Yeah.
she is, yeah. And Chris Wallace, who is the most delightful dick ever. I love this guy. And
He
you're going to
also-
see in these clips I pulled why I love Chris Wallace.
He He is like the Bob Costas of presidential
Yes,
debates.
yes.
He disappears for 4 years.
Yes,
You
yes.
have no idea where he's at.
He's doing nothing.
Then all of a sudden, they're like, the presidential debates are
Right.
coming up. They pull him out of the closet, dust him off.
That's right. That's right.
Roll him
Steam
out
him
there.
a little bit, get him reinvigorated.
Yeah, they got to iron him.
Yeah, they gotta
He's
iron
a
Chris
little
Wallace.
wrinkled from
Yep.
being in the closet.
That's right. Not the metaphorical closet,
No.
the literal closet.
A literal closet.
Yeah,
there are
is a
no
Chris
metaphorical
Wallace closet.
closets
Yeah.
allowed.
It's in Rupert Murdoch's house.
Right.
Right. So these are our contenders.
Yeah.
3 moderators, 10 candidates.
Can we pause for a second to
Yeah.
discuss something?
Absolutely,
So everyone makes
please.
fun of Trump's hair, which is admittedly terrible.
Of course it is.
Have you seen Rand Paul?
Yeah.
It looks like he
Yeah.
has a poodle on top of his
Yeah.
head.
Rand Paul looks like he put his toupee on backwards.
He looks like. Have you seen Christmas Vacation?
Definitely.
Okay, you know Uncle Lewis?
Yeah.
He looks
He
like
does.
Uncle Lewis's toupee.
Yep. Yep. It's like the line, he has gray around his ears, but it's like the gray ends so abruptly.
Yeah.
And the brown starts so
Well, and
suddenly.
then it's like straight, curly.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't seen that guy in
It's almost
years.
like his father had sex with some sort of mutant person to create him.
But that's possible.
It is possible. What happened? The secret origins of Rand Paul. So this debate. Let's play your clip first, Nathan. Nathan,
Do we want to play my clip first?
I think we just.
Well, let me set this up here.
Yeah.
This is, of course, the big clip, and I'm still baffled that you did not
Yeah, I know.
pull this sound.
I know. I tried.
This is the biggest news from the entire thing.
Guys, I went on the dark web. I'm not even kidding you. To find the full audio of this, and I still couldn't find it. I had to record it from YouTube.
What's
And
the dark
I-
web?
The dark web is where you buy kidneys and shit.
Oh,
And
wow.
I
Yeah.
just went to USA Today, and it was right there. So
This is my
Try
life,
Google
people.
next time.
This is why God hates people who are attracted to Rick Perry.
so this is the big news clip here.
All right, play it, Stan.
However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only
has
Rosie
several-
O'Donnell.
Megyn Kelly to Donald Trump.
Yes.
How does
So,
that clip wrap up? Is that the end?
Laughter.
Just that.
Uproarious laughter, as if Donald Trump was on a sitcom.
Right.
The studio audience just died. They doubled over.
Did they talk about any issues, or was it all just?
No, that's
that
pretty
kind
much
of
it.
There's a lot of
garbage?
posturing in this. I'm not going to lie. There's
Yes.
a lot of bullshit. There are some talk of issues. Those weren't the entertaining clips, though. So,
That's
so
the problem. Yeah, politics become entertainment. That's scary.
absolutely.
that's no longer where the news is at, though.
Right.
So as you heard,
Yes.
Megyn Kelly brought Donald Trump to task for being a sexist, misogynistic pig.
Which indeed he is.
And so Trump, the next day, went on something.
Yes.
Irrelevant what he was on.
Television.
And said he saw that she was upset with him
Yes.
because she had blood coming out of her eyes
Yes.
and coming out of her, that's the direct quote, blood coming out of her,
God,
Inferring that she's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
she's on her period, which is insane.
Right.
Insanely misogynistic.
So now
he proved
right.
what she said.
So now he's saying she owes him an apology, and she's saying I'm a reporter.
Right.
And I'm saying this is the only way I'm going to defend anyone ever on Fox News.
Correct.
I saw this today. People are now tweeting Donald Trump to let him know about their periods because he's so very interested in this.
That is brilliant. That's feminism at its best.
So-
That's beautiful. I love that.
That's the big story.
Should we tweet Donald Trump and tell him about our...
I already did.
Oh, good.
My tweet was just I'm a guy. I don't have one of those.
And mine was...
So I guess we're okay, right, Donald? Right?
Mine was a quote from a rap song. It was talking about how heavy my flow was. Yep. And that needs to be cut. The stone look on your faces. All right, I have pulled some clips. Some are brilliant, some are not. Some should not exist.
Right.
All of them I categorically disagree with.
All of them?
Oh, just about all of them. And we start with Donald Trump on illegal immigration. Here we go.
Since then, many killings, murders, crime, drugs pouring across the border, our money going out and the drugs coming in. And I said, we need to build a wall, and it has to be built quickly. And I don't mind having a big, beautiful door in that wall so that people can come into this country legally. But we need, Jeb, to build a wall.
I'm glad he's so interested in style, by the way. A big, beautiful door in the wall.
I mean, think about it. If you're going to build a giant wall between two countries, you don't want just a terrible, terrible wall. He's already said he builds the best walls.
He does. I mean, if you want to get down to it, Donald Trump builds the best walls.
He knows a wall.
He has an eye for walls.
I think he was talking metaphorically, but just saying.
Not as metaphorical as I wish.
Right, exactly. Not as metaphorical as society would accept.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the Great Wall of China.
Right.
If that hadn't been if they hadn't spent so much time and energy on that wall, it would just be like this shabby wall no one cares about.
The mediocre wall of China.
Exactly.
Yeah. Who cares? We
the
can see it from
subpar
space.
wall of China.
Right. The Chinese wall of China.
Like they built a wall real quick for the Berlin Wall.
Exactly.
You know what happened? People smashed it.
That's right.
They hated that wall.
They did. Mr. Gorbachev, repaint this wall.
Yeah, that was the
whole
original
issue. Quote. Yeah.
Need to keep illegals out.
Mr. Trump, I'll give you 30 seconds. I'll give you 30 seconds to answer my question.
That's why I love Chris Wallace right there. He's like, dude, you didn't address the question at all.
Okay,
and I'm going to call you out on it. Yeah.
Nowhere in this debate, by the way, I watched the whole thing.
You did.
Did anyone actually answer the question they were asked
no,
at any point in time?
Did not. They certainly did not. Everyone dodged, veered.
The best one,
I don't know.
I don't know if you have this clip, but the best one was when Chris Christie and Rand Paul started going at it.
I have that. Okay. Yes, we'll get there. That'll be the next one I play, actually. Let's let Mr. Trump finish his statement.
Which was, what evidence do you have, specific evidence, that the Mexican government is sending criminals across the border? 30 seconds.
Border Patrol, I was at the border last week. Border Patrol people that I deal with, that I talk to, they say this is what's happening because our leaders are stupid. Our politicians are stupid. And the Mexican government is much smarter, much sharper, much more cunning. And they send the bad ones over because they don't want to pay for them. They don't want to take care of them. Why should they when the stupid leaders of the United States will do it for them? And that's what's happening, whether you like it or not.
All right. Obviously, there's a lot more to talk about this. We're going to have more questions for the candidates on illegal immigration, plus other key topics, including your questions on Facebook.
I think that the issue at hand can be answered by Donald Trump becoming president.
Right.
Not because of a wall, but if Trump is in charge of the United States, there's no way anyone wants to come here from other places. That stops illegal immigration in its tracks.
Yes, Nathan. Yes, he's the ultimate solution.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, not a solution I want,
that
but he
stops
is the solution.
legal immigration in its tracks. That starts a mass exodus.
Right.
We'll be flooding Mexico. Everyone just going down south.
Can you imagine what that would do to Mexico? It'd be great.
I mean,
Mexico would be like, yeah, come on. And we'd be like, beaches.
I'd be like tamales.
I would be like tamales
I don't
as
care
well.
about the
I do
beaches.
love a tamale. Yeah, you want to hear Paul and Christy duke it out?
No, sure.
I do love this clip. Check this out, guys.
Megan, may I respond?
Rand Paul saying, Megan, may I respond?
I want to collect more records from terrorists, but less records from innocent Americans. The Fourth Amendment was what we fought the revolution over. John Adams said it was the spark that led to our war for independence. And I'm proud of standing for the Bill of Rights, and I will continue to stand for the Bill of Rights.
And Megan, that's a completely ridiculous answer.
Chris Christie?
I want to collect more records from terrorists, but less records from other people. How are you supposed to know, Megan?
Use the Fourth
What are you supposed
Amendment.
to? How are you supposed
Use
to?
the Fourth
No, I'll tell you how you
Get a warrant.
Let me tell you something.
Get a judge to sign a
when
warrant.
Senator.
Wait, Governor Christie, make your point.
Listen, Senator, when you're sitting in a subcommittee just blowing hot air about this, you can say things like that. When you're responsible for protecting the lives of the American people, then what you need to do is to make sure that you use the system the way it's supposed to work.
Here's the problem, Governor. You fundamentally misunderstand the Bill of Rights. Every time you did a case, you got a warrant from a judge. I'm talking about searches without warrants, indiscriminately of all Americans' records, and that's what I fought to end. I don't trust President Obama with our records. I know you gave him a big hug, and if you want to give him a big hug again, go right ahead.
All right. There's a little more to it, but you gave him a big hug. Rand
Which,
Paul.
by the way,
Rand Paul.
in the GOP, saying you hugged Obama,
Right.
worst insult you can come up with.
That's like saying you want to run off and jolly through the fields with Rick Perry. That's exactly what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think of that? It's they're having this back and forth about really a technicality. You know what I mean? Let's hear the rest. There's just like a few more seconds here.
And Senator Paul, the hugs that I remember are the hugs that I gave to the families who lost their people on September 11th. Those are the hugs I remember, and those had nothing to do with politics, unlike what you're doing by cutting speeches on the floor of the Senate, then putting them on the internet within a half an hour to raise money for your campaign, and while still putting our country at risk.
All right, we're going to cut it out there. We have plenty more we want to get to.
You know what would be a good TV show? A remake of The Odd Couple. Rand is the neat friend.
Right.
Chris Christie, obviously, the slob. Obviously.
They just kill each other after the first episode.
It would be a great show.
Can you imagine if that was the case?
Really, why do we not just have a reality show for a debate instead of doing the debate?
I think we already do.
Let's have a reality.
Let's listen to it.
Let's turn it into a real reality competition.
Yeah. With challenges.
Yeah.
Who can run through this hoop the fastest?
Yeah.
Supermarket sweep.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Whoever
just
brings
saying.
the most groceries across the line is president.
That's right.
I think they combine them all. The first round should be Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Oh, yeah.
And that might be the end of the series. There's a good shot.
No one gets past.
Yeah,
They have to.
yeah.
They have to rebrand as who's smarter than a second grader.
They fight like second graders.
They do fight like second graders, don't they? Oh my god! So you hear Paul and you hear Christie just going back, and then Christie pulls, and he does this multiple times, guys, throughout the debate. He pulls a 9/11 card. Need I remind everyone? He's the governor of New Jersey.
Yeah.
New Jersey is a state close to New York, not in New York. It's an entirely different state.
That is true.
Yeah.
I won't argue with that. Who won?
But in that exchange?
Yeah, who won?
Oh, I think Rand Paul wins in that exchange. He makes sense. The other guy doesn't make any sense.
I don't know, because at the same time,
Yeah.
Rand Paul doesn't make a lot of sense either.
No, but he does, because he's saying, look, I want to do searches,
Yeah.
but I want to do them selectively. And Christie's saying, no, we're just going to search everybody. We're going to do what
No,
we're
what
already
Christie
doing.
said is, how are you going to select because he said, I'm going to select the right people.
Right, but then they get into this argument about technicality where where Rand is like, look, every time you did
There's no winner in that
you got
argument.
a warrant. And Christie's like, I did get a warrant. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's the argument.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a tie then.
I think that was, that was a tie. That was a tie. I named one audio file that I pulled today. Chris Wallace is a delightful dick. Let's just see what he says.
Coming up, more of our debate, including questions about President Obama's foreign policy and these guys and their better ideas.
We have more. He's just going to commercial.
Did they ever get specific on anything? Or is
No.
No,
they don't get specific.
Not a single person got specific. Not a single.
Well, and
The fact... Okay, go ahead.
the other thing is, even if they do get specific,
And they'd have to hold to it.
they're the president.
Correct.
They're not the king. They don't just pass laws.
On their
Congress
own.
has
No.
to do it.
Nope.
It'd be good to know where they stand.
Yeah.
The king of getting non-specific in this debate, Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush, brother of George, son of
George.
Thank you. I couldn't remember.
They're both Georges.
I couldn't remember for a moment.
You
there.
got Dub, you got H-Dub.
By the way, most of our lives, Bushes. There you go, Jeb Bush.
She's a military person, and that's what she's doing.
That's a little bit of Ben Carson saying something about military people.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we're going to turn now to the subject of the economy, jobs, and money, and the government. And Governor Bush, I'm going to start with you. You have made a bold promise in your announcement. You have promised 4% economic growth and 19 million new jobs if you were fortunate enough to serve 2 terms as president. That many jobs, 19 million, would be triple what your father and your brother accomplished together. And 4% growth, the last president to average that was Lyndon Johnson during the height of the Vietnam War. So, question, how on earth, specifically, would you pull that off?
We've done it 27 times since World War II. I think we need to lift our spirits and have high, lofty expectations for this great country of ours. The new normal of 2% that the left is saying you can't do anything about is so dangerous for our country. There's 6 million people living in poverty today, more than when Barack Obama got elected. 6.5 million people are working part-time, most of whom want to work full-time. We've created rules and taxes on top of every aspiration of people, and the net result is we're not growing fast, income's not growing. A 4% growth strategy means you fix a convoluted tax code. You get in and you change every aspect of regulations that are job killers. You get rid of Obamacare and replace it with something that doesn't suppress wages and kill jobs. You embrace the energy revolution in our country. This president and Hillary Clinton, who can't even say she's for the XL pipeline even after she's left, give me a break. Of course we're for it. We should be for these things to create high sustained economic growth. And frankly, fixing our immigration system and turning it into an economic driver is part of this as well. We can do this.
Jeb Bush, so son of George Bush, brother of George W. Bush.
What kind of name is Jeb?
It's not a real... It's a name that belongs in the Beverly Hillbillies. That's the kind of name it is.
Jebediah? Is that what it is?
Maybe it's short for Jebediah. If it's short for Jebediah, I think the American people need to know. George Bush Sr. is Budweiser. George W. Bush is Bud Light. That means that Jeb Bush is Miller High Life. And nobody needs Miller High Life in office.
Wait, are you saying Miller High Life is worse than Bud Light?
I thought you were going Bud Ice or something there.
Yeah, Bud Ice. There you go.
No, it's too late. You already committed to Miller High Life.
Or Bud
You're right.
NI.
You're right. Bud Ice. Bud Ice. Adam is correct. Bud Ice is the appropriate
By the way,
analogy.
his real name, where was it? John Ellis.
Jeb Bush.
So it's a nickname.
What?
John Ellis.
John Ellis Bush.
Yeah.
This is
Jeb.
Jeb. So it's his initials.
It's yeah.
J-E-B.
There it is. Okay,
Yeah.
now
Jeb.
we got it.
See, now I'm on board with it. I
Jeb
like
Bush
that.
Bush.
Yeah.
He's doing this meta thing. He's doing it. That's really
that's
strange.
I like that.
That's very strange.
That's it's not any stranger than having two Georges and no Junior there.
Right.
You got George W, you've got George H.W.
I wish my initials like kind of spelled out something cool or anagrammed into something.
I know,
cool.
right?
I have no vowels in my.
I'm going to be honest, this is the most
initials.
jealous of any bush I've ever been.
I know.
Including the burning
People
bush.
or actual bushes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever been jealous of a hedge?
A hedge?
Yeah. They get so well established. They get trimmed. They get so straight.
I mean,
in Edward Scissorhands when they were cut up, like
there you go.
You know that was
sometimes when it's
was
really nice outside,
Yeah.
and the hedge just gets to hang out outside,
I
and
know.
I have to go do things inside. I could see being jealous.
You know, the hedge never gets to drink coffee, though. It's
It can.
It's a shame. You could pour
Someone
a hot
just
cup
has
of
to
coffee.
bring it to.
Right, but
to
no
the
one's going to
hedge.
do that. Who's going to do that? Who's insane enough to
Yeah.
pour a cup of coffee on a
Yeah, no,
thirsty
no,
bush?
quite
I don't know.
thoughtful. Your hedge would probably appreciate
Thoughtful.
it. You'd be
Yeah,
like,
the hedge
wow,
would appreciate it.
This guy's thoughtful. He's not just bringing me water.
I don't
He's
know
bringing
anyone who has done that. That would be weird, right?
No one except Rand Paul.
That'd be a weird thing to do.
You know what? You know, maybe not even Rand Paul. Maybe, guys, maybe Mike Huckabee. Check out what Mike Huckabee said. This is Huckabee on Pimps and Hoes, leading into Trump on money.
He's going to start rapping.
Oh, yeah. Boom, boom.
The fair tax transforms the process by which we fund Social Security and Medicare because the money paid at consumption is paid by everybody, including illegals, prostitutes, pimps, drug dealers, all the people that are free.
Huckabee, the Republican candidate for pimps and drug dealers.
Well, to be fair, he's for taxing pimps and drug dealers.
Correct. Correct.
Which,
So, yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and
Right.
say, if they're pimps and drug dealers, tax evasion, probably not that big a deal to
Exactly. So what he's talking about is the fair tax, right? You guys remember this for some years ago? There was
20%
a
across the board, no income tax.
exactly no income
20%
tax.
sales across the board.
Sales tax. Yes, it's all sales tax.
Mm-hmm.
Propagated by one. What was his name?
Ron Paul?
No, well, Ron Paul maybe, but there was a delightful man running around in 2008.
2008?
Yeah, he was defamed because he ended up doing something terrible.
Well, that describes half of
I know.
the
I know.
political
And
world.
the Reverend somebody.
Reverend Jesse Jackson?
No, not Jesse Jackson.
Reverend Jesse
It was an
Jackson Jr.?
African American guy. Who was the African American guy that ran some years ago? His whole platform was fair tax. I didn't. do
Al
my-
Sharpton.
No, it wasn't Al Sharpton. It was another fella.
Are you talking 2008 or last year?
It may,
or
have been,
last
it may have been
election?
last election.
2012.
It was 2012. 2012. What was his
You've
name?
forgotten what year we're in, haven't you?
I usually do.
I forgot where I am.
That would be Herman Cain.
Herman Cain,
Oh,
thank you.
okay,
Herman
never mind.
Cain is running around saying fair tax, fair tax. Well, the guy actually has kind of a fucking point.
I like the
right?
fair tax,
I do
frankly.
too.
It's
I
an-
do too.
Brings out the
Here's-
black market.
Here's the thing.
Dark web.
The fair tax is a great idea on paper. Just like communism was a great idea on paper, and everything is a great idea on paper.
Communism, to be fair, was only a great idea on paper because Karl Marx was a fantastic writer.
Okay.
Yeah.
But on paper,
Well,
Great
you only
idea.
write on paper.
yeah. So anything written on paper, any plan, when you write it down, you go, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So
In practice,
no.
It takes out all those loopholes, though, like corporations. not paying
Theoretically, it
taxes.
takes out
Theoretically,
all
it does.
those
Yeah.
loopholes.
And that's what I
Which
like
is-
about it. That's
I
what
mean,
I
I
like
don't know
about
what
it.
the dollars and cents would add up to.
what it could lead to
Yeah.
is companies buying more things from overseas where they don't have to pay that 20%
That's a
sales
great
tax.
point. And
A lot
so
of these corporations are doing that already, though.
that's true. That's a great.
Manufacturing overseas.
Fuck, we
Yeah.
don't usually have a counter to his
Laundering
counterpoint.
laundering their money
I
overseas.
like
Yes.
that you're here right now.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable
But,
silence.
I was waiting
Yeah.
to see how long we would let that go.
This transitions into Trump on money, and this is a fascinating clip. Just check this out.
Loading off the system now. That's why it ought to be a transformed system.
All right, enough. Mr. Trump.
It's getting a little R-rated.
Megan Kelly
Mr.
says
Trump, you
it's
talked
a little
lot about how
R-rated.
you are the person on this stage to grow the economy. I want to ask you about your business record. Trump corporations, casinos and hotels, have declared bankruptcy 4 times over the last quarter century. In 2011, you told Forbes magazine this: "I've used the laws of the country to my advantage." But at the same time, financial experts involved in those bankruptcies say that lenders to your companies lost billions of dollars. Question, sir, with that record, why should we trust you to run the nation's business?
Because
I love you, Chris Wallace. Let's hear Mr. Trump's response to that.
I have used the laws of this country, just like the greatest people that you read about every day in business have used the laws of this country, the chapter laws, to do a great job for my company, for myself, for my employees, for my family, etc. I have never gone bankrupt, by the way. I have never. But out of hundreds of deals, excuse me.
That's your line, but your companies have gone bankrupt.
What am I saying? Out of hundreds of deals that I've done, hundreds, on 4 occasions, I've taken advantage of the laws of this country, like other people. I'm not going to name their names because I'm not going to embarrass, but virtually every person that you read about on the front page of the business sections, they've used the law. The difference is when somebody else uses those laws, nobody writes about it. When I use it, they say, oh, Trump, Trump, Trump. The fact is, I built a net worth of more than $10 billion. I have a great, great company. I employ thousands of people, and I'm very proud of the job I did. Again, Chris, hundreds and hundreds of deals. 4 times I've taken advantage of the laws, and frankly, so has everybody else in my position.
Oh, Trump, Trump, Trump. That's my pull quote from that. Oh, Trump, Trump, Trump.
Do you know I read Art of the Deal as a 10-year-old boy?
Really?
A very strange child.
Hey, Adam. Welcome to Sushi Jackknife.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
This show is all about strange children.
I can't believe we didn't ask that in the interview portion.
I know. When did you read The Art of the Deal?
Yeah.
How much of The Art of the Deal do you remember?
I don't know. I don't know how much I even really comprehended, but I remember I started dressing like a businessman and going to school. I went to a public school, so it wasn't required. But I was dressing in the suit and tie. It was a very bizarre phase. But, you go through those phases as a kid. You want to be a ninja one week, and next week you want to be a businessman.
You wanted to be Trump.
I did. Yeah, I had a Trump phase.
There was a time in your life.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I wish I had that phase back. Now I'm I can't. I don't know what the heck to do with money now.
Maybe you should read Art of the Deal again.
Become like
you know
the
what
other
I do
way.
with money, Adam?
I should reread that.
I invest my money in alcohol.
I've partly invested in that too. I've got
and pretzels.
shares.
Every time I go to your house, you have pretzels. I love it.
Pretzels and beers, man.
Pretzels and
There
beer.
you go.
Adam's a man of the people. You know what? Maybe you should run.
Maybe I should.
You know what my idea was today?
What was your idea today?
If the GOP really wants to win.
Right. Which clearly they don't with all this.
Scrap all of the candidates they have.
Right.
Throw a baby elephant out there. An actual literal baby elephant. No one's going to vote against a baby elephant.
I thought you were saying and then the candidates tear that baby elephant to
No.
shreds.
No.
Whoever has the tusks
Barbecue.
is the winner.
No, the elephant is the candidate.
Barbecue that baby elephant.
Because everyone loves baby elephants. They're adorable.
Right.
And their policy ideas, not that bad.
Baby
elephants have pretty good policy ideas.
And an elephant never forgets.
Right.
You give that elephant an Encyclopedia Britannica.
Right.
Suddenly it knows how to make good decisions.
Some baby elephants fly.
That's true.
Indeed.
I did run this by a GOP coworker of mine. He was not for this idea.
You mean Everett didn't go for the
was
GOP
not,
elephant idea?
Was not on board with the baby elephant. His direct quote was, "I don't know what to say about that." And then he sat back down and stopped talking to me.
Does he ever look at you at work and go, when do you actually do work?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I do way more work than he does.
Do you?
Yeah.
What does he do all day?
I mean, he's a youth. He's
do?
doing the Snapchatting and the book facing and all that stuff. All the social medias.
Yes.
What's your job, Nathan? If I'm sure inquiring sushi jackknifers want to know.
We can't discuss that.
You can't discuss. Generically, can't you say?
Undisclosed.
Undisclosed. Mystery.
He works in a large office environment.
I have an office.
With a lot of antics.
Okay.
Yes.
Antics do
You work for the
ensue.
Trump Corporation, don't you?
I'm vice president. We declared
That's a
bankruptcy last
bankruptcy
week,
filer.
Right. You're actually out of a job.
and
at this
we're
point.
scheduled to do it again. I think next week.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
I know it's a mole. It's a mole.
I have to play you guys a little bit of Ben Carson because Ben Carson is just delightful.
Who is Ben Carson now?
Ben
Please forgive my
Ben
ignorance.
Carson is a neurosurgeon.
Oh,
Nathan is waving his head violently.
I'm
no.
out on Ben Carson.
You're out on Ben Carson?
I'm out.
Ben Carson is the only African American GOP candidate.
That's not, by the way, why I'm out on Ben Carson.
Oh,
hope
sure. He is a neurosurgeon.
Okay.
That is all I categorically know about Ben Carson. Now, Ben Carson, at one point during this debate, after about 45 minutes of not having a question thrown at him, he says, "Oh, thank you, Megan. I didn't think I was going to get to talk again."
That's too many people. 10 people. Why? I mean,
Right.
You ever remember in high school the debate team? I mean, nobody ever debated with 10 people. It was
10
one on
people is a
one.
lot. And it
just
will
ridiculous.
narrow as time goes on.
Still, though,
Yeah.
I mean, they should. God.
No, I
don't
know. It's a lot. It's a lot. Here is Ben Carson's. This is actually his closing statement. Okay, here we go. His closing statement, where he talks about things that
Dr.
he's
Carson, closing statement.
Well, I haven't said anything about me being the only one to do anything, so let me try that. I'm the only one to separate Siamese twins. The only one to operate on babies while they were still in the mother's womb. The only one to take out half of a brain, although you would think if you go to Washington that someone had beat me to it. But I'm very hopeful that I'm not the only one who's willing to pick up the baton of freedom, because freedom is not free and we must fight for it every day. Every one of us must fight for it because we're fighting for our children and the next generation.
Yeah, Ben Carson, the only one who has handled a living human brain.
Yeah, but he's nuts.
What's he nuts about?
Well, okay.
Do tell. I want to know.
Direct quote here
Yep.
when referencing gay marriage.
Got it.
Marriage is between a man and a woman. No group, be they gays, be they NAMBLA, be they people who believe in bestiality. It doesn't matter what they are. They can't change the definition. So he lumps gay marriage in with bestiality and the North American Man-Boy Love Association.
Is that what NAMBLA is?
That's what NAMBLA is. He does not believe in any sort of evolution because, quote, I simply don't have enough faith to believe that something as complex as our ability to rationalize, think, and plan and have a moral sense of what's right and wrong just appeared. Which is not evolution. That's creationism. Evolution is it developed.
How in the hell do you get through neurosurgeon school not believing in evolution?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a part of the brain called the reptilian brain that apparently evolved from reptiles. I'm just saying that's why they call it that.
And of course, being GOP, very against any sort of gun control. Any.
Okay.
Any.
There was a real heated moment in the debate, and this may have fueled some of Mr. Trump's anger towards Megyn Kelly when he was asked a direct question, and it's kind of a beautiful moment. You guys really need to hear this.
Mr. Trump, in 1999, you said you were, quote, very pro-choice, even supporting partial birth abortion. You favored an assault weapons ban as well. In 2004, you said in most cases you identified as a Democrat. Even in this campaign, your critics say you often sound more like a Democrat than a Republican, calling several of your opponents on this stage things like clowns and puppets. When did you actually become a Republican?
I don't think they like me very much. I'll tell you what, I've evolved on many issues over the years.
Yeah, you don't really need to hear his answer. Just
It actually wasn't that bad of an answer.
You don't think so?
No.
You want me to play it out?
No, you don't need to play it out.
all
I'll
right.
summarize the answer.
Summarize it, please.
He's changed. That's really the basic...
That was his answer, yeah.
The basic answer.
And out of all those people up there, I do believe that he could change.
And
I don't know why.
I will give him credit. He said, yes, he donated money to, say, Hillary Clinton and stuff like that.
Correct.
As a businessman, he donates money to everybody so he can have them in his pocket.
Yeah.
He said that out loud.
He did say that
at
out
the
loud.
debate.
Yes, he did.
You gotta give him some cojones points right
That's
there.
true. I mean, he is literally telling the truth.
Not that I want him
In
to be
that
president,
instance.
by the
No,
way. I don't want him near
neither
the
do
White
I.
House. I don't want him on the White House tour.
Only if he can be vice president with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No,
I think
no.
you should split off third party. I mean, he's got the money, he's got the
Yeah.
publicity.
Well,
I don't
he's
know
threatened
why.
to do that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
GOP's all afeared of it.
Yeah.
They're all
He could-
afeared because
he
he's
could
going
write
to take
his own rules.
he's going to take their votes.
Adam, have we told you, or do you already know? He is the top-rated candidate for the GOP in the polls.
Mm-hmm.
He's the top-rated candidate.
Mm.
And they're not even sure he's a Republican.
and top rated hair wise.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
He's got the ball in his hands. He should just, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean, because I don't know if he'll be, you know, you just, you know, it's like going to the cereal aisle, right? And imagine there
Right.
being two cereals, right?
Two Serial podcasts? The podcast
No,
where they
it's
solve
two
murders?
cereals, right? And
Okay.
if you don't like either cereal, you kind of have to conform. You got to pretend to like it, right? That's like the way the political system's set up with the two parties.
If
But
you
somebody with enough
had
money,
to assign cereal to the political parties, which ones would you choose?
really generic, bland, boring ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like
What-
grape
one of
nuts, grape nuts, and
Mini
like
wheats?
Mueslix or
Ooh.
something.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wow. Who's Mueslix?
The Democrats,
Democrats are Mueslix, and grape nuts are the...
Republicans.
So Republicans break your teeth,
See, I
don't
was,
and
like
Democrats are hard to say.
I was going to go shredded wheat, but not the frosted shredded wheat.
No.
Just the unfrosted, gigantic biscuits that you have to. Oh, it's bad.
Yeah, they're in that ballpark. But
Correct,
Yeah, if you don't like
correct.
either of those two cereals, you're in trouble. You know.
So we need someone
we
to
need
come
more
be
voices,
the Lucky Charms.
more choices. Absolutely.
We need some Lucky Charms in this presidential election.
We do.
Exactly. We need a variety, the spice of life. And Trump is the money and the press, following him around everywhere he goes.
As these things go, though, third party
remember-
never works out well.
No,
Third party
Well,
never
the
works out
deck's
well.
stacked. I mean, the Republicans and
The
the
deck
Democrats
is-
have stacked the deck against the possibility of a third party. Not that it's impossible, but they
Right,
made
right.
it very. You remember Ralph Nader?
Yeah.
I mean,
Ralph Nader.
Love Ralph Nader.
Green Party,
Great
yeah.
American. He had such difficulty. I mean, he was literally physically removed from the 2000 debates because of the way the deck was stacked. But he would have shredded Gore and Bush in those debates, I believe, and that's why they didn't want him in there. Because the debate commission is a private enterprise, and the Democrats and Republicans are in bed with them, and it's it's a very corrupt system.
literally in bed with
Yeah.
him.
So it's
Just
very
like
hard for a third party. So it's, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't have any allegiance to either of those parties because they don't seem to represent the variety of opinions and that Americans have.
I think I want Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah,
I want all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I feel Cinnamon Toast Crunch is too strong of a choice because whichever party is Cinnamon Toast Crunch is going to win because it's the best cereal.
The
It's
other-
literally the best cereal.
Whoa.
You don't think it's the best cereal?
It's a good cereal.
It's the best. What's the best cereal?
I can name several that are better than
Name them.
Name
the cereals that are better
Fruity
than Cinnamon
Pebbles?
Toast Crunch. Not true.
definitely true.
Not true.
Cinnamon Toast
Why?
Crunch is
Why?
at the
Give me a
top.
why.
They taste good in my mouth hole.
They're a little too sugary. I like Frosted Mini Wheats.
Thank you.
Frosted Mini
Yeah,
Wheats
not
are
as sugary.
That's a
So-
man's cereal.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Fruity Pebbles is what's left over on the factory floor after they make tricks.
That's not true.
It is true.
Completely different flavor.
Have you seen this
different
Rogers
flavor
neighborhood?
palette?
Oh, please.
Different
As
flavor
if
palettes.
you would know, sir. As if you would know.
Tricks are garbage. Fruity Pebbles are delicious.
I was not a big Fruity Pebbles guy.
I can see that we're not.
Cocoa
gonna-
Pebbles are also better.
I like Cookie Crisp a little better.
Cookie Crisp
than-
is better.
Cookie
than
Crisp is
Cinnamon
good.
Toast Crunch.
I do like
that.
it. It's
But
not
I love
better than
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So we're talking like what's better than an 8.7? It's
Reese's
hard.
peanut butter
'Cause I
puffs
love-
better.
No.
Kix. I love Kix too.
Kix is good. Kix is a perpetual 4 for me, though.
Really?
Yeah,
I love
it's
Kix.
it's Kix. It's Kix.
But they're healthy and tasty.
Fuck the healthy.
I don't want to eat something where I feel like I'm going in a diabetic coma a half hour later.
Did you worry about that when you were 9?
No, but it would make me feel like I had. But it would make the way it made me feel would be terrible. Like I remember I had Alphabet cereal as a kid, and I was constipated for like 2 weeks. I mean,
Alphabets?
It was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just eating garbage.
You were the one kid they gave Alphabets, yeah?
Yeah, Alphabets are bad.
They experimented on you.
It's horrible.
You know that?
Some of those cereal. Even now, I can't. It's like you might as well just eat cardboard. There's no nutritional.
Welcome to our new podcast, Cereal, spelled with a C,
like everybody's mom.
in which we discover that Adam was experimented on by the government by eating cereals that no one else has ever heard of.
It was an X-File.
You remember Waffle Crisp?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was better than Cinnamon
I don't
Toast
remember
Crunch.
that.
It was good. It tastes like syrup. What are you going to do? It tastes like syrup.
I know, exactly.
Who fucks syrup?
Oh, O's. O's was better. Remember O's? O-H''S?
Nope.
Oh, good cereal.
Are those the
Sorry to be
Oreo
so
ones?
bleak,
No, they were O's, but
There
in
was
the
an
middle
Oreo
were like
cereal?
little bits of grain and
Wait a
honey or
minute.
something. It was good.
There's an Oreo cereal, and guess what?
I know.
Also better than your Cinnamon Toast
That
Crunch.
one I would buy because it's cookie cereal at that point.
Basically, you have chosen a subpar,
No.
middle of the road cereal for
No.
your top
All right,
choice.
Adam wanted to talk about weed.
I thought the people would like it.
What? By the way, kudos for your transition there.
Yeah, well, that's
It was smooth.
Yeah, way to put it on me.
Oh, man.
the only way I
don't
can
even
get by
s-
in this relationship.
I don't even smoke weed, but I thought people would like it. Talk about it.
Well, let's talk about it
Yeah.
then. Which GOP candidate do you think wouldn't come out and say they support marijuana, but actually is a big stoner?
Oh, I don't think
I don't
any
think
of them.
I think they
None
all,
of them?
Do they do a
Trump would
harder
come out and
stuff, though?
support it if he could make money off it.
Trump would come out and be like, guys, I take Molly all the time.
If he could make money off of it, he would.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think the law should be on marijuana? That's what I'm interested in.
Do you want my real opinion
Yeah,
or my
yeah.
Sushi Jackknife opinion?
I want your honest.
Do the Sushi Jackknife opinion first.
Oh, hey guys, have you ever had a Snickers bar? I think it should be totally legal. I don't give a fuck. I mean, just not because I smoke. Really, I don't really smoke. I've maybe 5 times in my life. But yeah, I don't think it's that much of a risk factor.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I think it should be legal. I mean, but I also think it makes people idiots. But
Not as much as alcohol, though.
alcohol, I think it makes them just more violent action-wise. They get more
Yeah.
in that regard. But I think marijuana makes people just like their mind to fog.
It definitely makes you lose
in the short term.
ambition. It
Yeah.
makes you you know what I mean? It makes you.
absolutely.
I was going to do something,
But
but
then
not
I
good.
I ate Tricks and watched
Exactly.
He-Man.
Why would you eat Tricks?
Great question.
I like Tricks actually because they're like kicks, but like a little bit.
All right, we're
you
done
know,
with cereal. We're done with cereal.
No, we're not. Do you like Tricks more than Cinnamon Toast Crunch or less?
No, less.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why
Cinnamon
you're
Toast,
sitting,
I'm telling you, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is a staple. That's one of my favorites.
That's
Yeah.
why he's sitting a little bit closer to me.
Yeah. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, 1 to 10 is like a 5.
He's not sitting Rick Perry
No, I
close
would
to
say
me,
it's more
but he's
like
sitting
an
a little
8.
closer.
I like
to
some
me.
Cinnamon
no,
Toast
it's not.
Crunch.
It's not an 8. No, that's crazy talk.
No, I
Maybe
could say-
6.
What about you, Nathan? How do you
Well,
feel
so I'll
about
have to- we'll have to
legalizing
agree on
marijuana?
7.
I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk
Why
about
don't you wanna
cereal.
Talk about it Come
Because
on.
I
Talk about
didn't
it.
feel like we had finished our cereal
can talk about it.
conversation.
We can talk about cereal all day long.
I
sure.
know we can. I have a lot more to say about it.
You know what? I never thought I would like it, but I'm actually into cornflakes now. Like very bland cereals.
All
in the
right, guys.
morning.
I'll see you later. Have fun on your cereal podcast.
Oh, sorry. No, okay. Well, I didn't realize you'd be so offended. Yeah. Anyway, I think it should be legal, taxed heavily, but also beware if you want to be an idiot. You smoke a lot of weed, but it also has, I think, medical, like people on heavy cancer
Are we
drugs,
still
heavy
talking
AIDS
about Fruity
drugs.
Pebbles?
Yes.
I agree with everything
So it should be
he
legal.
said.
You know.
Well, yeah, I didn't listen
Even
to
people with
anything he
mild
said.
ailments, it does help.
Yeah,
but
I agree with everything he said.
Okay.
And now, back to our previous conversation.
can we talk about movies or comics really quick?
What do you want to talk about?
What do you want to
Variety
talk about?
Spice Live. I got Bangkok Dangerous on deck tonight. Anybody seen it?
No.
No.
Nicolas Cage? Okay. What about the new Fantastic Four is out? Anybody seen it?
Haven't seen it. Have seen a lot of negative reactions to it.
Heard
There's a
it's bad.
hashtag going around called hashtag not my doom.
Okay, should there be a law, and maybe this should have been addressed in the GOP debate, about time between reboots. Like maybe there should be a federal law, like at least 5 to 10 years between a reboot of a movie, because Spider-Man and Fantastic Four, I think, have broken that law.
Because people keep thinking they can do it and they can't actually do it.
Well, you got Hulk in that list too.
Hulk is also in that list.
Yeah, Hulk broke
just
that law.
Constant rebooting of that.
Have they had to reboot Iron Man or Captain America? No, because those movies were successful.
Yeah, but even like I liked the Spider-Mans, and then all of a sudden, boom! Why couldn't you? I mean, Tobey Maguire is like still a young guy. Why couldn't you still have Tobey Maguire?
I mean, I liked other guys as well. He was fine.
But it was like this. I've heard the story 8 times in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Why do I need to see it again?
The part I didn't like in the more recent Spider-Mans is when he took part of Facebook from Mark Zuckerberg. That's the part I didn't like.
He did what?
When he took part of Facebook from Mark Zuckerberg.
Who did that?
Yeah, the new Spider-Man.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Was that in the movie? Or
big crossover?
You lost me. Over my head.
I'm just saying bad.
He played the business partner in The Social Network.
Oh, he did?
I was being a dick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Totally got me. I was lost in translation.
Just remember that I'm an asshole when the bike's running.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking about cereal still.
Oh, jeez, of course you are. Did you see the new Fantastic Four?
I did not.
I want to.
The first, although maybe there should be a caveat on that law. If the originals aren't that good, there should be a reboot, because the Fantastic Four movies, I didn't think they were great. They were okay.
And the source material is excellent. It's one of the best comics ever.
Yeah,
Nathan is laying back.
I have literally no opinion on any of this.
Did you see Ant-Man?
I didn't, but I want to.
Ant-Man was good. I enjoyed Ant-Man.
I like the obscure kind of characters coming out. I want a Spawn. I'm really, if I had my druthers, I would like a Spawn reboot, because I was disappointed because I love Spawn, the comic. It's my favorite comic, but
Spawn's great.
I was a bit disappointed in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to just see more Spawn movies.
Yeah, just give me just one great, Tim Burton-esque Batman, but Spawn.
Yeah,
and I would be a happy man.
Now, is this really more interesting than the serial conversation was?
Yeah,
I think this is just shifting what you're talking about you liking. It's just a list of things you enjoy in life now.
Yeah.
Guys, you can email us, sushijackknife@gmail.com. I am available in the world of Twitter at Justin L. Croft, not Justin Croft, because he is an antiquarian book dealer in England, much more accomplished than I. And he might also have a crush on Rick Perry just by looking at him.
Are we wrapping up? Is this the wrap up?
Nathan is available.
I was just getting excited. Talking comics and movies. Yeah.
Well,
you could talk about this all night.
Well, now's a great time to announce your spin-off podcast.
Justin already started winding it down.
I know.
He
I don't want to leave. I'm sure the people out there don't want to, they don't want us to end.
No, trust me, they wanted it to end about 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Don't forget my plug, then.
The listenership is so disengaged that it's really... That's why I started drinking again. It's really disappointing how disengaged they are. We offer them things all the time. We say, email us all the time. We say this, we say that. We say, we'll give you something for free all the time.
You know that every time you've told them to email you, you haven't given them a reason to email.
Just 2 words.
You just say, email.
Well, then let's do that. Let's give them a reason.
You have to ask.
I thought that cassette was a reason.
No, but you have to ask them to do... What are they going to email us? Just, hey, I'm emailing now.
Yeah.
Well, that was my email. Goodbye.
The first person that does that, by the way, I will invent a great prize for you and send it to you. You just literally type what he just said.
You need to set up a P.O. box, and people will send you stuff.
Well, I like that idea.
I've seen that
toll-free
on
number.
numerous, online shows, and it works. Okay. People send stuff.
People do send things.
Yeah, but you got to say what to send. Video games.
Yeah, we have to.
We'll set up a P.O. box.
Give someone an idea of what
to
do.
Send us cool stuff. Send us movies. Send us DVDs. Send us comics that you don't want whatever you guys want.
Or cereal.
So you got to just ask the universe for it, and then we'll send it.
Photographs.
Here's what I want.
Rick Perry.
I don't
want that.
Someone to email, tweet, handwrite, skywrite the list of top cereals.
Okay. Yeah.
And
there you go.
Oh, send us the little cereals, the boxes.
Well, I'll take
you can do that.
Yeah.
And if you're going to send it in, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch is at the top, just don't bother. don't bother sending it. No one.
Maybe you probably don't want food to be sent to you. 'Cause
Email
God
us
knows.
your list of your favorite cereals.
You are a garbage person if you're sending a list and that is at the top of it.
I'm not a garbage person.
A top 10.
I'm a refuse individual.
You remember the boxes that they used to sell where it was like different cereals and you got to mix and match them?
Yeah, the variety pack.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Those little boxes.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
And Cinnamon Toast Crunch would be always the last one you'd eat.
It was like a 6-pack for kids, but it was cereal.
Yeah.
Instead
It's
of,
like a sampler.
yeah, I do remember that.
And
thing,
then
yeah.
and then Cinnamon Toast Crunch usually got thrown in the garbage.
I would be the second one
that's
I
true.
would eat. I would go Cocoa Puffs or something first.
And then Cinnamon Toast
So you're
Crunch?
you're saying Cocoa Puffs are better than
I
Cinnamon
think
Toast
so,
Crunch?
man. It's a different dynamic, though, if you're only eating that little
Well,
box.
yeah.
If you like to eat a whole box of, say, like Cocoa
Well, who
Puffs,
eats a whole giant box of cereal?
it's a commitment. Buying a cereal is a commitment. This is like the
I
next
agree.
2 weeks,
I
every
agree.
morning, this is going to be who I am. This is the cereal I'm eating. That's a commitment.
You know what I eat now?
Versus the variety pack just one day.
This is what life has come to. As an adult, bran cereal.
Wow.
Because it's healthy.
That's what I get.
Bran, as in made of bran.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's generic. It just says
You're too young to go there
bran.
yet, though, man. You got to go somewhere in between. Like, there's a little bran, but then there's also some sugar
Well, I mean,
puffs in there.
occasionally,
You mix them.
when I'm feeling crazy, some Special K red berries.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, when
That's
I'm feeling crazy.
When you're feeling crazy.
Can we also mention, we didn't mention any of the horror cereals like Count Chocula cereal.
Ooh, that's also
You
better.
know.
Blueberry.
Count Chocolate's
Blueberry, yeah. I think
I
they
do
need
like
to be
blueberry.
mentioned. Oh, Rice Krispies, too. That's a good cereal.
It does snap, crackle, and pop.
The thing about Rice Krispies is the same thing about cornflakes in that you add sugar to them when you eat it, generally.
I don't know about that. You're the guy that adds salt to his beer, though. I don't know if it's a healthy practice. You know what I mean? I don't think you should recommend that to your younger
Once again,
viewers.
this show has turned around on me. You can tweet Nathan if you want to, because he's clearly a horrible human being.
By the way, I'm back on the Twitter.
I noticed over the last 24 hours you're back
Yeah.
on Twitter.
I went
into it.
crazy.
He's on it. He's on it now. He started tweeting me all about
and
this
not
baseball shit I don't care
can't
about.
get it.
Not to brag, but I got one like from one Mr. Michael Ian Black.
Whoa.
Throwing names around here.
No. What did you tweet that
From the
Michael Ian
state.
Black liked?
Well,
Great show.
it doesn't make sense out of context.
Okay.
I just
Disappointing.
yeah. It was about I went and saw him.
Oh,
Live.
you went to see him at Zany's?
And then I tweeted to him.
Great.
And then he liked it.
Yeah. I got a like from
You can
Sonic
die happy
Exploder
now.
today.
So I mean, we're pretty much best friends.
Yeah. You could call him. Could he come on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great.
I'll just
At
get on that
Badlands
right now.
Badly is how you get in touch with Mr. Nathan. We're serious. Email us your list of favorite cereals, I guess. There's a disappointing Tumblr page, sushijackknife.tumblr.com. You can listen to us on iTunes,
What's
Stitcher. It's a thing. iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Podkicker, all sorts of things.
You guys are all over the place.
And the ubiquitous, actually it's not ubiquitous, this is the second time you've done it, the Adam Foster plug.
Yes, adamfoster.com. Free album.
also .gov,
.biz.
No.
.net.
.com.
Adam is running for election in 2017, which is an odd choice.
If you want to see that website, it's adamfoster.xxx.
.com.
Don't hold your breath on that.
Accessible through the dark web. If you'd like to know more about the dark web, you can email me personally at justindrakecroft@gmail.com. But you're probably not going to
Guys,
do
I don't
that.
want it to end. I got no place else to go.
You can sleep on that bucket. It's
Can I?
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's so nice of
Just
you.
curl up on that bucket.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Do you know how we end the show?
No. It's not some kind
So
of weird.
you're saying you've listened to the show, but you never listened to the end of the show.
Yeah, I've only made about 40 seconds in. That's all.
Wow.
That is
No,
20
actually-
seconds longer than
I
most
made it
people.
I've made it a good amount of time.
Okay.
Almost 20 minutes, but I didn't go all the way. I was at the library. I had, after a while, you got to leave that library.
Real quick.
It gets depressing.
Real quick before this, what would you like to hear us talk about more on the podcast?
Great. What would you like to hear us talk about more on the podcast?
Everything but politics. More of everything but politics.
So this episode is kind of a
More
wash.
comics. Yeah.
So
I'm not a
more,
politics guy. More music,
more cereal.
More cereal, more
Like
movies.
significantly
comics,
more cereal.
More maybe South Nashville talk.
South
Restaurants.
Restaurant reviews?
I love restaurants.
Can we do some restaurant reviews, Nathan?
Bars.
No
I love
guarantees.
bars.
I'd do that.
No guarantees.
Bars?
Bands.
We can talk about bars.
Bands. Bars especially.
Well, next time we'll try to work all that in.
Restaurants. I'm sounding like a drunk now. But
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right.
But South Nashville's a fun place to be, so.
South Nashville is a fun place to be, and we are in South Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
So nah.
Should work for the Chamber of Commerce.
You should run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'll run for. Is
As
that
we-
up for election, Chamber of Commerce? Sorry?
I think you just have to murder the previous person there,
that
and
how it
then it
works?
becomes yours. Yep.
Wow, it's like
Or
real,
if
real
you-
tribal.
If you can lift the gavel,
Take his women. Murder him and
that's
take
right.
his women.
It's kind of like Thor. If you can lift it,
I probably have a better chance of
They're
that than
worthy.
getting elected. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I'll consider it. I'll talk to my people.
Sushi Jackknife.
Before you do that.
Okay, all right.
After this, there will be a song playing.
Yes, thank you.
You probably ought to, like...
Oh, yeah.
I don't
should
know.
intro it, yeah.
Let's talk more
Man,
about
I
me
am
and my
doing
songs.
everyone's work tonight. It is exhausting.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm so tired of carrying this on my back.
Heavy as the crown, my man.
I know.
The name of the song will be...
I'll never leave you behind.
And that's what you'll be hearing right now.
That is Justin's song to Rick Perry.
Yeah.
Sushi
Justin on bass.
Sushi Jackknife. God damn it. What a fucked up episode.
I'll never leave you behind or push you off to the side. I'll never hurt you or step out of line. And I'll never leave you behind. I'll never leave you behind. I am yours and you are mine. Wherever I go to, you stay in my mind. And I'll never leave you behind. Different people, they will test our love, but you better believe I'll always be there when things get tough. I'll never leave you behind. To turn my back would be a crime. Without your wisdom, I would surely be blind.